Hello, everybody. It's Bill's That College Football Guy here with another schedule preview, preview and schedule prediction. This one is the second of the grandfathered in schools. We're talking about the Middle Tennessee State Blue Raiders of Conference USA. Say 2024 was not fun was an understatement. They went 3-9 in Derek Mason's first year. That name ring a bell for you? Derek Mason, former used to coach at Stanford, was the former Vanderbilt head coach way back when, in the early 2010s. 2014, I think, was his first year at Vandy. This is now in his second year. The staff is back. Offensive coordinator Bodie Reeder and defensive coordinator Brian Stewart. It was not good. There are 133 teams in FBS. 133. They ranked, out of 133, 100th in total offense and 121st in total defense. And you wonder why they went 3-9. There's, needless to say, there's a lot of work to do, and there are a lot of transfers on this team, and I mean a lot. Now, there are some bright spots, and the offense starts off with number one here, and it's bright spot, but it's also kind of sad. If I'm being honest, it's kind of sad. Nicholas Vadiato. He's back under center, the redshirt senior. He had a record-breaking year at quarterback for last year. He had 3,092 yards as a junior. That's a good, decent season, right, for yardage? That is the most any junior has ever thrown for in school history. In fact, he is only the second quarterback in school history to throw for 3,000 yards in back-to-back years. I'm not making this up. So he is, but his 3,000 yards, 16 touchdowns, 10 picks. Not going to get it done. And the problem is, like, we have running back by committee coming in to follow him up. Last year's the leading returning rusher, the starter, is gone. The highest rushing yard, leading rushing yards last year was Jaquel Middlebrook, a redshirt sophomore. He had 273 yards and 2 touchdowns. So this running back committee, no real, but he proven here. Wide receiver room, only one returning starter. That's Miles Butler, 30 receptions, 366 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Everybody else is either players who have not gotten playing time or transfers. There's a ton of transfers on this team. And speaking of ton of transfers, 4 of the 5 starters on the offensive line are transfers. Projected starters are transfers. Yeah. This is, I think, basically was Coach Stockstill was the previous coach, and he had his people there, and Coach Mason's bringing his people in, so it's a transition period. But needless to say, a lot of transfers on the offense. Now, defensively is a bit of a different story. First off, defense-wise, they run a 4-2-5 primarily. All 4 starters on the defensive line are back. Now, that's not exactly much when the fact is, the most you had in sacks last year was 3. That was your leading sack man. But all 4 of them are back. 1 senior, a junior, 2 sophomores. They were very younger. Now they're getting more experienced. So that's me up in the 4-2-5 system. So the defensive line, they'll be doing great there. Both the linebackers are Mike linebackers in the 4-2-5 system. Parker Hughes is back, the returning starter. He was, I think, was 5th leading tackler on the team. He's back in the under center. The other Mike spot is up for grabs again. But the leading candidate is Alex Mitchell, a senior transfer from Chattanooga, 2-year starter there, played every game. The secondary is a problem. You run left, right corner, nickel, and both safeties in the 4-2-5. The only returning starter in the secondary is John House IV, one of the safeties. Everything else is up for grabs. None of the they're like, a lot of the transfers when it comes to the wide receivers and the secondary, we're talking about both of them here. Both of them, it's players from like Purdue, Houston, Wake Forest. They're named universities, but they're like redshirt freshmen or sophomores or redshirt sophomores that had no playing time. They're unproven from big name schools coming in. Or it's their own players who played last year in limited playing time to see who steps up. It's going to be that way in the secondary as well. A lot of it's going to be transfers and unplayers. So basically the wide receiver room is basically unproven, and the secondary is pretty much unproven. This makes for a long year. All right. So, without further ado, shall we get into this? 2025 Middle Tennessee State schedule. Start off the season at home against Austin Peay from FCS. They're coming over from Clarksville, right down the road to Murfreesboro. They're going to get the win. They're going to 1-0 in the season. It's the last time you're having a winning record. You follow the next week on the road at Wisconsin. Good God, that's a body bag game, and you're going to get just shoveled in the dirt. Wisconsin's going to beat you easily, probably by the end of halfway through the first quarter. Then you follow that on the road the following week at Nevada. Now, Nevada was not exactly a great team in the Mountain West, but you're going from Murfreesboro, Tennessee to Reno. That is not a short trip. They know how to play at home. As some of you saw, the casinos up in Vegas, one of the casinos sparked the money for creating an entertainment complex and giving Reno a brand new basketball stadium that's going to get put up there. There's some money coming into Reno, so they're spending. And plus the fact you're in cross country on the road, I'm going to give Nevada the win. You're taking the loss, MTSU. You're at home the next week, coming back home against Marshall. Both of you play a game the week before. And I was thinking, okay, Marshall, head coach is gone. They've lost a lot of players. Middle Tennessee State's lost a lot of players. This is kind of an even matchup. Marshall give them the win. And then I'm looking at this going like, Marshall was at home. You were on the road in Nevada, coming cross country, coming back home. They didn't have travel wasn't as far. I'm sorry, Middle Tennessee State. I'm going to give Marshall the win. You're losing to Marshall. Then you're on the road at Kennesaw State. Now, this one, again, you're home against Marshall. You're on the road at Kennesaw State in Atlanta. Not that far from Murfreesboro to Atlanta. 4-hour, 5-hour drive. Easy to do. Even with traffic. That's been the bad days of traffic. But anyway, that's beside the point here. You're on the road at Kennesaw, and I thought Kennesaw was going to get the win. Let's just look at Kennesaw's schedule. Now, you're playing Marshall, who is going to be depleted, but I think they're going to have a little more heart in this one, and because they have a little bit more experience, even though they lost a lot of players too. So I was going to give Kennesaw State the win, but then I looked at the fact of who they're playing the week before. They're playing Arkansas State. Arkansas State is going to beat the living hell out of them. They're a very physical team. So they're going to come into the game at home after getting beat up. Even though you're on the road, Middle Tennessee State, I'm going to give you the win. Because I think they're going to be it's going to be a dogfight. But I'm going to give you the win on the road at Kennesaw State. Then you get the bye. This is where Conference USA is pulling a Mac. 3 consecutive weeks of games on Wednesdays for Conference USA, for Middle Tennessee State. 3 consecutive weeks. And you got a bye, because Kennesaw State is it's technically a bye week because they have you have a bye week for them to get used to the Wednesday games. You can't give them the short weeks. So they get a bye week, so it's like Saturday, a full Saturday off, and then you start the following Wednesday, so like 10 days. So technically it's a bye week because you're doing this, because on the other end you're going to get the week back. But technically you have to give it the week before, because the Wednesday counts the following Saturday. So you're on a bye week. You're at home against Missouri State. Missouri State's a tough team. You've got a bye week to prepare for them. I'm going to give you the win against Missouri State. Then you have another bye week. Why they sandwiched the bye week here, I have no idea. And after that bye week, you got 6 straight. And they did you no favors. The bye week, on the road at Delaware. Now I'm looking at this going like, man, cross country. Even though you got the bye week, Jesus is going to be beating y'all up. And then I looked at Delaware's schedule. Now, Middle Tennessee State, I know the fact for you, it's ingrained from Coach Mason. You don't look ahead. He beats the crap out of his guys for doing that. Delaware, this is a trap game for Delaware. It's sandwiched, a home game for Delaware, sandwiched between a road game at Jacksonville State and a road game at Liberty. Two of the teams that could be battling for the Conference USA Championship. I'm calling this a trap game for Delaware. So for that, plus you got the bye, I'm going to give you the win on the road at Delaware. Then you're staying, it's a Wednesday night game as well. And you're still on a Wednesday night at home against Jacksonville State, who will beat the brakes off of you. You're losing that game badly. It's not even going to be close, folks. Oh, Lord, I'm light in that picture. That's the sun. It is what it is, folks. Anyway, then you go back to Saturday games. All right. You're back on Saturday. You're at home against Florida National. This game, I was looking for an advantage either way, and there isn't one, so I just looked at who was at home. You are. So you're going to get a win. Hey, you've won 2 out of 3. Yeah. Then you follow that up with the 100 Miles of Hate. On the road at Western Kentucky, who will also beat the brakes off of you. I'm picking Western Kentucky to win that game. You're at home against Sam Houston State. Sam Houston State is a damn talented team. They're going to be good. You're going to lose to Sam Houston State. And then you finish the season on the road at New Mexico State. The travel to head out there in Las Cruces. You're losing that one too. I'm sorry. But I have to give you the loss on that one. So that means, well, you went 3-9 last year. 3-9. Well, you're going 4-8 this year. So it's not that bad. It could be worse. But you're 4-8, 3-5 in Conference USA. Actually, 3-5. Yeah, that's right. Kennesaw State, Missouri. Yeah, 3-5 in Conference USA. Actually, it's 3-6 in Conference USA. My bad. Because I only have 3 conference. The Marshall's a non-con. Yeah, 3-5. And you only win on the non-cons against Austin P. But 3-5 in Conference USA. Oh man, just a tough road. But hopefully, they give Coach Mason a little bit of rope to work with here, a little bit of time, because he's got a rebuild to do. And this is not going to be a one-year job. This is going to be 4 years at least. But 3-9 last year, I got you going 4-8. It's not where you want to be, but at least it's an improvement. So I've done enough yapping. Why don't you let me know what you think about all of this down in the comments. So thanks everybody for watching the video. If you haven't done it already, do me the favor. Smash the like button, hit the thumbs up. It helps with the algorithm, helps the video be seen by more people. Comment on the video. My only thing is, can either one of either the total offense or the total defense crack in the top 100? And I honestly don't know. The offense, I think, is going to take a step back, maybe 100 or 105. The defense, I think, is going to take a step up because of the fact that, but the problem is the secondary is just, it's going to be a long year for Middle Tennessee State. But you let me know what you think about it down in the comments. Share the video if you want to. If you haven't done it already, do me the favor. Check out some of the other videos I've done. And if you like them, hey, subscribe to the channel. On the road to 1K, trying to make some magic happen. If you want to follow me on X, the link is in the description. These schedule preview and prediction videos will continue. I want to thank everybody who, the video I have it was a Pac-12 video which had the start a subscriber roll call on it. From now on, I'm going to be doing subscriber roll call videos on their own. The next one, every couple of weeks until we start getting toward the end of the year, then I'll be doing it every week. End of the off season, I should say, every week doing a video. And we'll handle it that way. But right now, so far, like, we're ahead of schedule compared to last year. Last year I had 45 schools. I had a couple FCS schools and a Division III. This time last year I had 18 FBS schools in a Division III on the list. Well, we've got 25 so far with 2 FCS. So actually ahead of schedule. So I appreciate that. If you want to get your favorite school shouted out, not on this video, because I only look on subscriber roll call, the video. You can comment in the video. The pinned comment on the top of that video is all the schools that have already been done in alphabetical order. So you can look at that top comment, find your school, see if it's already there, it's already on the list. If not, your school's not there, shout it out in the comments if you wanted to do. I do these preview and prediction videos for your school, as well as during the regular season when I do my predictions. I do picks for the top 25. I pick out the top 25. And when the college football playoff top 25 kicks in, it'll kick over to that, as well as any subscriber school that was shouted out in the roll call. And I did a preview for you. That's an FBS. I don't do the FCS ones unless we get at least 5. So I can do a top 5. FCS, I'll never do that one, but I will do anybody who is not in the top 25. If you're a subscriber school, I will predict every single one of your games all year long. I have the preseason predictions, and I'm going to do game by game, week by week, based upon injuries and whatnot. So if that's something you're interested in, hey, go ahead and do that one. I had a fun week driving right now. You know, started off and left outside of Nashville to go down to Miramar, Florida, which is about 25 miles west of Miami in South Beach. Went from there, went to Orlando to pick up a load to take it to Jacksonville. Jacksonville took it back to Nashville. And I just picked up a load in Nashville this morning, and it's going back to Jacksonville. So I'm going back down to Florida. After having all the weeks up in the Michigan and Ohio and Minnesota and Wisconsin, nice little change of pace. But you know how it is. So instead of up there where I was freezing, now I'm down here melting. Life of a trucker. So thanks everybody for watching the video again. Hope everybody's having a great day. Be safe out there, and please be good to each other.